So we covered Sam Harris on the show recently because he gave us one of the most hilariously pathetic moments I think I've ever seen when it comes to issues of war and peace. He was giving his opinion on, this was before the war with Iran started. He was giving his opinion on a potential war with Iran. And I'm not kidding when I say he was like, people rightly are skeptical of war because of like the Iraq war and how horrible that was and stuff. But, this time if we were to do war against Iran, like, it would actually be different, and it would, like, go really great. I'm not kidding. That's the core of the argument that he made on his show before this war with Iran. He's like, actually, this one would be different. This one would be amazing because, the population is young. They're more secular than their government, and so, like, they would just grab control of the situation. We'd have, like, a democratic government in there in no time. And, like, when somebody makes a point like that, you immediately have to go to, are you just really stupid or dishonest? And, I almost lean towards dishonest in this case because I don't think he's stupid enough to actually believe what he said, right? I guess I may have just been convinced to flip back to know he's stupid because he's going to go on a rant here against Zohran Mamdani. And it is one of the most grotesque, vile, putrid displays of bigotry and Islamophobia that I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, literally at the core of this is just Zohran is Muslim, and so therefore he's bad. Like, and you might think I'm exaggerating. You tell me once you watch this clip. So perhaps he's not just dishonest. Perhaps he's also stupid because this can only come from the mind of a genuinely stupid person. Listen to this. Here we go.
A few comments here. I'm sorry, but Sam, equating Mamdani to Trump is insane. He's infinitely more ethical than any person in the Republican Party. What do you have to say for yourself?
So apologies for one point of confusion there, which really is confusion. He's not the equivalent of Trump. He's a very different sort of character than Trump, right? But also one who we should want nothing to do with politically. I think he's a sinister figure.
He's a sinister figure? That's the word you use to describe Zohran Mamdani is sinister?
I think he's a sinister figure. I think he's a none too closeted Islamist.
Do you guys have any idea what the definition of Islamist is? The definition of Islamist is somebody who wants to run the country, or in his case, it would be run the New York City government, by implementing Islamic law. That's the idea of an Islamist. Like, he wants political Islam to be the rule of law. He's effectively accusing Zohran of being like ISIS or Al-Qaeda or the Taliban or like the Muslim Brotherhood, at the least bad scenario, like the Muslim Brotherhood. The extent to which this is just pulled out of his fucking disgusting ass is immeasurable. There is zero indication that this is what Zohran wants to do in any way, shape, or form. Zero fucking indication. But he says it anyway. Why? It's almost like when he looks at a Muslim, he thinks, oh, they're all, one of them. They're all like the same, He's not done yet, though. He like basically triples down on this in this same fucking dumb segment.
Islamist or at minimum apologist for Islamists. He's not ethically sane.
He's not ethically sane? He's not ethically sane, says Sam Harris.
By my lights at all, though he can seem to be somebody who really just cares about, people who are finding it hard to make ends meet.
Maybe he seems to be like that because he is that. Maybe his democratic socialism is actually the defining characteristic and ideology that drives him. Maybe when he says that and then implements those ideas, it's because that's what's really driving him. But no, he's sinister and an Islamist, or at least, what'd he say? Aligned with Islamists or something like that? Like, oh God, I can't. Every claim of bigotry and Islamophobia against this guy, he's just proven completely correct. like it's literally, there's no way around it.
If you double click on many of his political allegiances and the kinds of things his wife likes on social media and all of that.
His wife's likes on social media? Are you kidding me? What are you, fucking Sean Hannity? Is this the fucking Daily Mail, the New York Post? What are you doing?
Someone who's captured by a fairly sinister theocratic agenda and an anti-Semitic one.
Sam Harris is a supporter of the Israeli government. Let me repeat that. Sam Harris is a supporter of the Israeli government. He has the nerve to say Zohran is motivated by a theocratic agenda. Motherfucker, have you heard of Benjamin Netanyahu? Have you heard of Ben Gvir? Have you heard of Smotrich? Have you heard of what's happening in the West Bank? Have you heard of what's happening in Gaza? Have you heard them cite Amalek in the Bible over and over and over when they massacre innocent men, women, and children? Have you heard about that? Have you seen that? Have you seen the bombing of schools and hospitals? Have you seen the bombing of World Central Kitchen workers? Have you seen them openly admit the Greater Israel Plan is what they're trying to do as they steal more territory, as they steal all of South Lebanon as they're doing right now, as they take Gaza, as they take the West Bank, as they've taken large swaths of Syria? Have you seen that? How's that not a theocratic ethno-state agenda? How's that not a terrorist theocratic agenda? And you fucking support it. Zohran doesn't support it. You fucking support it. Oh my word, bro. I can't. This is just so, like, it's insulting to our intelligence, right? Like, this is just, you're not even trying with your disgusting smear campaign here. You're not even trying.
Someone who's captured by a fairly sinister theocratic agenda and an anti-Semitic one. You know, this is not about garbage trucks.
Anti-Semitic because he criticizes Israel's genocide. Anti-Semitic because he criticizes Israel's genocide.
And, you know, cleaning up Central Park and really helping the city. The thing that really seems to animate him are these political concerns that don't have a lot to do with being mayor and have a lot to do with Israel and Islam.
Hey, Sam, how many policies has he implemented in New York on those issues versus how many has he done on standard economic issues for the people of New York? I'd love an answer to that. How many policies has he tried to implement that are on the topic that you say motivates him versus how many are on standard New York City mayor type decisions? You tell me. You tell me. You're not going to tell me because you know you're wrong, because you know you're full of shit, because you know you're making it up. Because he's Muslim, so he must be bad, he must be anti-Semitic, he must be theocratic. This is how you think, because you're a fucking bigot.
He's not the worst person you might find in that vein, but he's far too close to being a shill for Islamist theocrats.
You are a shill for Israeli Zionist theocrats, okay? You are. Not him, you are.
I would want running a major American city to say nothing of our government, right? So if we had a Mamdani character who was a viable presidential candidate.
Oh my God, that would be the best thing ever. He would win with like 400 electoral college votes. It would be the most glorious thing I've ever seen. There's a reason why Zohran now, in no time at all, polls as one of the most popular Democrats in the country, right up there with fucking Bernie Sanders. There's a reason why. Because he's actually delivering for the people of New York. And here he is. Could you imagine a horrible world where Zohran, the popular, likable guy who's right on all the policies and has already helped a tremendous number of people, could you imagine him maybe becoming president? We might actually fix this country.
Who had these kinds of ties to obvious anti-Semites and Islamists and Muslim Brotherhood adjacent evil. I would find that genuinely terrifying.
What's genuinely terrifying is that anybody takes you seriously. You can sit there using a monotone voice and act like Mr. Intelligent and Mr. Political expert and say fuck all about the literal genocide that was live streamed coming out of Gaza for years now. You haven't said dick about the World Central Kitchen workers being bombed, the people getting shot waving white flags, the hospitals being bombed, the schools being bombed, innocent Palestinians being fucking starved to death. You haven't said shit about the literal lynch mobs doing pogroms in the West Bank right now as we speak. You haven't said shit about all of South Lebanon being fucking stolen right now in front of our eyes as Israel creates the Greater Israel Project and tells people they're creating the Greater Israel Project. You haven't said shit about the literal apartheid mass death law. They're turning their prison camps into death camps right now by saying we're going to kill every single one of the Palestinian hostages we have, over 10,000. Many of them were like little kids who just threw a rock and they got locked up and now they're going to be fucking murdered for no reason whatsoever. Okay? You've said nothing about any of that, but ooh, the sinister Islamist of Zohran Mamdani. So what has this so-called sinister Islamist done? Oh, I don't know. He cracked down on shitty landlords helping out regular people all throughout New York City. He ordered a deep cleaning of the subway for the first time in their history. He handled that winter storm that they got in New York City phenomenally well, where everybody was giving him credit, even fucking Republicans who live in the city. He was able to get Hochul, the governor of New York, on board for universal child care. So they're going to deliver on one of his key campaign promises. He's already been able to deliver on freezing the rent. He got his guys on the board, which will determine to freeze the rent. Okay? He just did a thing the other day. They're going to tax the rich. They're already taxing the rich. People who have, I forget all the specifics, but it's like If you have a place worth over $5 million and it's not your primary residence, they're taxing those people. Okay? Fucking tremendous. This is what everybody wants. This is what everybody wants. We live in a time of income and wealth inequality worse than the Gilded Age, and finally somebody's fucking doing something about it, and you smear him as an Islamist because you're a fucking bigoted Islamophobe, okay? And then finally, if he is such a horrible, Muslim theocrat, I don't know, why is it that he's always marching in fucking like gay pride parades in New York City? Right? Is that something an Islamist theocrat would do? Would the Taliban be marching in gay pride parades? Would the Muslim Brotherhood be out there marching in gay pride parades? Like, who are you kidding, bro? Who's gonna buy your bullshit? Even his own audience was like disgusted that in the previous episode, he did a bullshit false equivalence smear comparing Zohran to Trump. Even they were like, are you fucking kidding me? They were like, Zohran's better than literally any Republican in this country by far, and it's not even close. And now you're going to go out there, and basically, it's actually worse than a double down, because he actually makes the claim more extreme by saying he's, a theocratic Islamist who's like in league with the Taliban or the Muslim Brotherhood with sinister figures. It's literally like he looks at a Muslim guy and says, deep down, I know what you really are. Deep down, you want women to be second-class citizens. Deep down, you want gay people to have no rights. Deep down, you want to behead people. Like, this is actually what's going on in Sam Harris's mind. And it's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. I have no interest in what his political thoughts are on fucking anything ever again, because this is so fucking off base. And it literally just stems from the fact that he's a supporter of the Israeli government. He supports the fucking genocide. And so, God forbid you call out the genocide and you're humanitarian, then I'm just going to lie about you and not even acknowledge that you're one of the most popular Democratic figures in the country, and you've already repeatedly delivered for the people of New York City. So, fuck Sam Harris and his host who looks like a fucking Ken doll, and the horse they rode in on, and he's a fucking piece of shit. All right, y'all, that's the show. I love y'all very much. You guys know the drill, man. Everybody do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. You can also click that bell icon. It gets a notification to you every time we drop a video. You can also support the show on Patreon. Remember, y'all, there's Real Independent Media. That link is below if you'd like to help out. You can also support Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. That link is below as well. And, of course, go subscribe to Corin's World, and I'll come hang out with us tonight, and I'll see you guys there later. Peace out, y'all. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.